And this is why I can never record audio in the house. I'll be using Burpee's seed starting mix to sow my first batch of seeds of the season. You want to use a mix that is free of organic matter to start your seeds. The reason being that organic matter such as compost can harbor things like fungus, mildews, molds, bacteria, blight, powdery mildews, and creepy crawlies. These occur naturally in the environment and generally do not cause a major issue, but when you're starting seeds indoors, you don't have the natural ecology to keep things in check. Coconut coir retains over 8 times its weight in water, making it a fantastic seed starting mix. I'll be reusing plant containers from the previous season's purchases to start my seeds. Lightly compact your grow medium to ensure there aren't any air pockets and to prevent settling when watered. I'm sowing 3 seeds to a pot to ensure that we end up with at least 1 healthy plant per pot. The 2 lesser quality sprouts will be pinched off, leaving only 1 healthy plant. Lightly cover the seeds with grow medium, ensuring that the seeds are completely covered and in contact with your mix on all sides. Seeds don't need to be planted very deeply to sprout. Generally, 1/4 of an inch will be sufficient. Well, I've been booted to the basement because the kids are being fed dinner right now, so lighting conditions are not the best in the basement. So I'm going to finish planting our... Let's see, I've got the ghost peppers left and the stevia plant left, so I'm going to get those in the pots and then we'll get them under the grow lights. Alright, I've got our ghost peppers and our stevia seeds in the pots. Now I'm just going to cover those with a light dusting of coconut coir. These stevia seeds are incredibly small, so I just kind of did a light dusting, a little pinch. There's maybe 20 some seeds in each pot. Alright, all the pots are filled. Actually, I ended up making a second block of coconut coir, and I've got a little bit left over here. I'm just going to let this dry out, and you can rehydrate it and use it for more seeds later on. Alright, welcome to my makeshift seed starting location. Before COVID hit, we had planned on finishing our basement, and I was going to have a whole setup for starting seeds. And then when COVID hit, the price of building materials skyrocketed, and we just held off on the basement. So I'm making my storage rack do for now. I have a heat mat that I've got set up, which I'll put below all of our seeds. This mat is going to help keep our seeds warm so they can germinate. What seeds need to germinate is warmth and moisture, and soil, I guess, a growing medium. They don't actually need light until they break the surface of the soil, at which point they'll use the UV rays from the light to produce energy and grow. I want to give a shout out to my friends Liz and Brad for hooking me up with their grow light. They had this, it looks like a 4-foot LED grow light. They ended up deciding to go a different route with their seed starting setup. So I was able to pick this up off them. Appreciate it. It's going to help out a lot. As I mentioned though, I don't need light at this point, but I am going to keep the light on because it produces some surface level heat on the soil, which will help in addition to this mat in keeping the seeds warm so they can germinate. Because I'm not starting very many seeds, I know what groupings are what, so I'm not going to mark any of these with stakes or anything that says what they are. I don't have anything like that on hand anyways, so I know what's what. The reason I'm using this old boot tray is because it's designed to hold water. So what I want to do is, instead of top watering my seeds and disturbing the surface of the soil, I'm going to water from the bottom. Basically what I'm going to do is fill up this tray. We'll see how quickly these dry out, but let's say once a day I'm going to come and fill up this tray, and the coconut core is going to soak that moisture up to the surface where the seeds are, and that way the seeds will be able to take up what they need and not be disturbed and moved around. Basically, I'm making do with what I've got. I'm really not set up to start a whole bunch of seeds right now, but this will do. This will work. These leftover pots that I have from plants that I purchased last year, admittedly they're a little bit large, but I'd rather have something that's larger than necessary than too small and have the plant outgrow it before I can get it outside. So this will give everything plenty of room to grow, plenty of room to fill out, and we should have a pretty healthy crop of food here to send out outside when the temperatures are appropriate. So the peppers and the stevia that I planted require 8 to 10 weeks prior to the last frost, the last spring frost, to germinate. The tomatoes that I'll be growing only require 6 weeks, I believe. So I'm going to start those a couple weeks from now, and hopefully in about a week we should be seeing sprouts coming up on what I just did today. I know my seed starting setup is nothing very impressive, but it'll do for now, and as the years go on I hope to expand my operation, and my ultimate goal is to be able to grow a plant here on the Green Acre, harvest seed from it, retain the seed, start the seed the following year. Every season that they grow out there, they'll adapt to the climate better. They'll become more disease resistant and more hardy and tolerant of our weather conditions. And every year our crop will just get better and better and better. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I just never did it until now. So I've always just purchased plants from our local greenhouses, and I would recommend, if you're going to go that route and not start your own seeds, which is perfectly fine, definitely support your local greenhouses, your local businesses. Don't go to Home Depot or Walmart or some other big name store like that. Support your local businesses and buy their plants, their starts, and put those in your garden. Besides helping out your community, you're also purchasing a plant that has germinated and started growing in your climate. Whereas if you buy something from a big name store, it could have been started on the other side of the country for all you know and gone through quite a bit of shock and everything in its transport. You're just going to end up with a better product buying it locally from a greenhouse. The seeds that I have started myself in the past, I've always direct sowed them outside. I've never started anything inside like this. So it's pretty exciting. Hoping it goes well for me. I'll follow up with you guys in a week or so, and hopefully we'll have some sprouts coming up, and then another week or so after that we'll be putting the tomatoes in here and getting those ready too. We're getting there. This is just the beginning. Take care everybody, and we'll catch you in the next video.